Years ahead of the December 7 elections do not reward impunity and deceit with political power. Is this reflective of all UDS lecturers, or is just a section of UDS lecturers who are sympathetic to the cause of Mahama?
No, it's not reflective of all UDS lecturers. You know, in Ghana, as we sit today, you cannot get that. But it's a reflection of the perspective of a good number of lecturers as we engage in informal discussions and engage in other discussions and informal way of contacts with people in our small groups. You see that just as the general Ghanaian society, a lot of our people are so much concerned. They are worried about the things that have happened in Ghana over the past 8 years that we have lived under the reins, under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So
if you look at the
how many are these lecturers? How many of you came together to do this?
Yeah, the number of lecturers that have come together to do this numbers over 120 people.
I see, and these are persons who have been NDC people, I mean, in the better part of their lives, and they're just now calling on Ghanaians to follow what they've been doing every time. Is that not the case?
It's not the case that all of them have been NDC people all their lives, but they have just assessed, a number of them have just assessed the current situation of the Ghanaian and decided to speak up, because we have the belief that our scriptures tell us that if you are living in a community and you see a wrong going on and you don't stand up to correct it, when there is a calamity, it does not distinguish between the person who did it and the person who didn't do it. You will all be consumed by that calamity. So as responsible citizens, as patriotic citizens, they have seen the need to speak up, to choose between the good and the bad. Yeah.
I see. What's this calamity you talk about? Governments have had good times and have, not so good times. All governments have gone through that phase. So what do you mean by calamity?
If you see the caption of our open letter, we are saying that people should not be hoodwinked by deceit and to go and give power to people. You realize that what brought the NPP into power in 2017, a lot of the work was done by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia through the several lectures that he gave, proclaiming himself and the NPP to be the best alternative. They were the competent ones, and the previous John Mahama administration, they were the incompetent. They told us a lot of things, especially if you come up north here. We were promised that when they come, we are farmers and we are suffering. Our people do rain-fed agriculture. When they come, they will make sure that every community, every village has a dam, which will support them to do dry season farming, to have vegetables, sell, get money, and support their children's education and to pay their hospital bills. Today, if you go across northern Ghana, you don't have a dam in a village where people are cultivating and selling vegetables. They told us that when they assumed the reins of government, they were going to make sure that every district had a factory which would employ young men and young women to make living. Today, if you walk across northern Ghana, there is no single district that has a working factory. They told us that when they assumed the reins of government, they were going to make sure that the Ghana cedi, which was exchanging 4 cedis to $1, was going to come back to 1 cedi to $1. Today, what is the exchange rate of the cedi to the dollar. So these are complete jokers. They are liars. They lie to Ghanaians to give them power. And today everybody has seen it. Where is the Ghanaian economy today? It's in total shambles. So we cannot sit and concern for some of these things to continue.
And you are saying all of these things without taking cognizance of the fact that there were difficulties along the way. There was COVID, there was the Russia-Ukraine war, and these are globally acclaimed calamities, to use your own term, calamities that are befalling every serious economy around the world.
We cannot just take it like that. As we admit that COVID came, Russia-Ukraine came, we have our neighbors which did not suffer as Ghana suffered. And Ghana had a lot of international support during COVID. So we think that Ghana should have even been doing better than when we didn't have COVID in Ghana. Because the COVID alone gave a lot of resources to Ghana. Instead of them to inject it into the economy, to stabilize the economy, they rather shared it to their people to do 2020 campaigns. So these are not people who are serious. And if you recall, in the time past, when there were similar calamities in Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in his lectures will be mocking the NDC and be talking about the fact that they say that a calamity, international thing. How can an international calamity jump Togo, jump Burkina Faso, jump Benin, and only come to affect Ghana? So how can COVID jump all those countries and come and affect only Ghana? Well,
all right. I think the point is made. Thank you so much, Dr. Abukari Wumbei, is a lecturer at the University for Development Studies. They say that they want Ghanaians to vote for John Dramani Mahama. They are endorsing him for president in the December 7 elections.